All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Shooting Game Weekly, episode number 54. Um, you may have noticed that Aquas is not hosting this time. So, I'm Softdrink 117. I've been a guest on quite a few episodes, and I've been asked to host this episode kind of as an interim measure because Aquas is away on a business trip. So, without further ado, um, today's episode is on Bluish Resurrection and Bluish Resurrection Plus. And as a guest, we have Emuser or Emuser, or I don't really know how to pronounce the name.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's Emuser. Just think of it like me trying to amuse people.
oh, okay, there we go. Emuser, got it. And we have two runs from Emuser and a guy named Prales or Prales or something. So Emuser's run is going to be Bluish Resurrection plus original mode. And Pral's run is going to be original Bluish Resurrection Hell difficulty. So, yeah, and as always, we have Soda here helping us out with the stream. So,
Yep.
Wait a minute. Can somebody change the title for the
Nope,
stream
I
on
don't
Twitch?
have the rights for that.
Oh my god, no.
I'm gonna fix like all these things with Aquas until next episode, I promise. Like I thought he had everything covered, but apparently no. He has very little
Yeah,
covered.
He's the only one who could do it, I guess.
all right. Well, more technical difficulties would not be this show without them. So,
Yeah, I guess he's gonna have to go back and change the title later because we can't do it.
yeah, or he can just give us privileges to do it.
Oh, that's
I think you can do that.
You can do
just
that.
give people-
I'll make sure we fix that.
yeah.
Alright.
Well then.
All right. So, yeah, I guess let's talk about the game here. So, Bluish Resurrection is actually relatively well known as an independent game. I see it recommended a lot as kind of an introductory shmup, especially BWR Plus, because I think it's significantly easier from what I understand. I've played it a little bit myself, but haven't dabbled with it too much, so I don't know all that much about it.
Yeah, well, basically, of course, Bluish Resurrection, the original version, came first in 2006, and that was released as a standalone thing. It's a sequel to the original Bluish, but it is fairly difficult. I guess it's why he made a plus version, because it is original Bluish Resurrection is pretty hard, and in plus there's more fountains. Well, there's basically more scoring opportunities, unlimited extents technically, and the bosses have less health, so it is easier overall, and more bullet cancels.
Mm-hmm.
So plus is definitely more of a scoring game, and Bluish Resurrection Original is definitely more of like a limited survival game in sorts. It imposes an extend limit that you have to follow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've played Plus a little bit myself, and it's definitely quite enjoyable. I like that it almost feels like a cave game. I mean, I think they really kind of got that kind of style and energy to the bullet patterns and everything down pretty well. So it's certainly a pretty interesting game, but I haven't played the original, so
Yeah,
I'll check it out sometime.
a lot of the patterns are the same, but there's less bullet cancels in the original, and a few ingot fountains are missing. Ingot fountains are missing. The most drastic change is that Stage 4 is a lot harder in the original, because there are many less bullet cancels. And Stage 4 and Plus is just kind of lols worthy. Just scoring all over the place.
No.
But they're pretty interesting because they are fairly versatile games. They give you a lot of options, and there's 3 difficulties. You can pick between easy, normal, and hard / heaven, original, and hell. So
Yeah, sort of like the original Maniac Ultra system in the Mushi games.
yeah, it is actually in terms of how this game plays, I would explain it as like a hybrid between Ketsui and Mushi. Because basically the way scoring works is that you kill enemies and they'll release gems. You collect the gems by being close to the enemy or sorts of bullets in a bullet cancel for more points and an increased gem counter, which you cash out at the end of the stage basically. But
Okay.
I guess I just kind of went into scoring, but basically that's the main gist.
Oh,
of
that's
it.
fine.
Kill stuff, be as close to enemies as you can when the gems release. The longer that they're out and go to you, the gems lose value. Another big point is that there are hidden fountains that you can fly over with your ship, and they'll reveal hidden ingot fountains that will spew out gems constantly while they're on the screen. So you want to find them and uncover them as soon as you can.
And how do you uncover them?
All you have to do is just fly over it with your ship, and it automatically spawns.
Okay.
But you do have to shoot it. This happens occasionally where you'll just fly over it, and you let go of your shot for some reason. It won't open until you shoot it. But if you're shooting and you fly over it, they both happen at the same time. So it's not a huge deal, but there's a few times I had to restart on stage 1 because of that.
Interesting. So it's not like, say, bees in Dodonpachi, where you have to like switch to laser in order to hit them, or at least have the laser like sprite move up above them to uncover them. You just have to be shooting at the time that you pass over them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about controls and ship selection.
Oh yeah.
It seems like there's kind of wide shot and focus shot, similar to what you'd see in a DDP game or a more traditional cave game. But I know there's, at least in Plus, several different ship types, and what's all that about?
Yeah. Well, actually, all 4 of the ships are in both versions. It's just that as of today, the current download links to the games in the original version, you have to unlock Peace and Eden by 1 credit clearing Heaven and Original. But in Plus, the download that's offered nowadays has everything unlocked, including all 4 ships, all the stages available for practice. But I can go over the ships real quick here in about a minute or so. But basically, Wish and Hope are the first 2 ships that you would have normally. Wish is the weakest ship of the 4, but it has a decent spread, which covers a nice amount of the screen. So it's good for stage portions, but it is a little bit weaker. I guess a comparison would be like Riko in Mushihime-sama Futari. She's really good for stages, but she has to deal with longer boss fights.
Yeah.
Hope is the second ship. It's an average ship overall, and it has more damage than Wish, but Hope has the least range of all 4 ships, since its shot is nearly focused as well as its laser. Its shot kind of does a waving thing, but as a whole, Hope barely has any range in terms of its like anything to the side of it. So it's almost more of like an A-type from Dodonpachi than anything. Third ship, which is actually extremely popular, is Peace. It's different because it's like the abnormal type of the game, basically. If you hold your laser, it's actually a really weak homing shot.
Okay.
And its normal shot is actually like the highest damage per second thing in the game. But the drawback is that you have to deal with streaming through bullet patterns when you are like at full speed. You have to twitch through them. You don't have your hitbox visible when you do it, and you have to control your speed. And the last ship is Eden, which is actually makes a guest appearance from Eden's Edge. You can play with the original appearance, the girl that appears in Eden's Edge, or by default you can use. They basically made a unique ship sprite for Eden in this game to be used as the default looking sprite. It has damage similar to Hope, but it's the most technical of the 4 because it has these options that follow it around. Holding the laser will basically bring them all back to you in a formation pattern, whereas if you hold your shot, then they just kind of follow you around like you're snaking in Gradius or something.
Okay. And for reference, which one are we seeing in the replay right now that's just playing in the background here?
Peace, how clear.
Okay. Then Peace it is. Cool. So is there anything else to really mention with regard to kind of system and scoring, or is it really just that straightforward? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of optimization.
Yeah, it is an optimization game, but like I mentioned before, the main point is to just kill stuff and get gems as close as you can, get the ingot fountains and uncover them as soon as you can. But the other biggest point that I feel like people gravely underestimate this game for is the auto guard. It seems like a lot of people still don't know about this, but obviously it's easier to beat the game with auto guard on. But if you turn it off, then they reward you more for how many lives you have left at the end of the game.
Okay. So it's kind of a risk reward kind of thing there, and an auto guard is auto bomb basically, right?
Exactly. In auto guard, you will instead of dying, if you have a bomb, your bomb will automatically save you, but you'll lose a third of your gem count, same as if you were to die. But if you were to bomb more normally, your gem count doesn't go down at all.
Okay.
So auto guard is good for people who just want to go for a survival clear. But if you're going for like a big score, then you'll want to turn it off and get used to it without it getting in the way.
Interesting. And does it just deplete one bomb when you get hit, or does it get rid of all of your stock?
Oh, good point. It actually only depletes one. I don't think they hadn't gotten to that point yet. Like, they didn't start doing that until DFK 1.51 or one of those versions where it takes all your bombs inside Iojo. Yeah. They didn't get to that point yet in thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because I'm not usually the biggest fan of that like infinite auto bombs kind of thing. Like you get in.
This came out Plus came out. Well, I guess the original Bluish Resurrection came out in 2006, but Plus version came out in 2008, shortly after Daifukatsu 1.5, which had the auto bomb thing.
Yeah, which had the auto bombs like that. So okay.
They had a similar mindset at that point.
Well, yeah. All right then. Well, is there anything else to talk about before we start going into replays, or should we just get started with yours?
Oh, let me see. The last thing, basically, actually, there is one last thing. In my replay, it's not a default option, but Plus added 2 new options over the original version, and you could basically turn them off or on in the options menu. If you look at them, you'll see that there's something called wait, and then there's something called excel. Wait is on by default, as far as I know.
And wait control, that's like slowdown, right?
That's basically simulated slowdown. But in Plus, you can actually turn it off and play without any slowdown. At some point in my time playing it, I turned it off, I guess, because I thought for years it was default that the wait was off. But apparently it's not. But in my replay, I actually have wait off. And it says it in the bottom right corner. It's easy to tell when you see a replay if they had wait off or on. It lets you know in the bottom right corner.
And the Excel?
Excel is... the original Bluish Resurrection had a hidden 4th mode called Excel, which basically had original mode attacks with really fast bullets.
Oh.
But Plus added it so that you can turn Excel on in any of the 3 difficulties. And I haven't ever touched on it much, but it makes some stuff really brutal. Like,
yeah, wow. How fast are we talking?
It actually wildly varies. I don't know how it works, but some stuff is easier because they get off the screen really quickly. And some stuff is hard because a lot of it, like some things will just make a wall and all come at you at once.
Yeah.
So... It's like a completely different game, and I haven't touched upon it that much yet. But
it's really cool, though. I mean, it seems like BWR Plus just has a ton of versatility between the 3 different gameplay modes and the different settings here, and the ability to use auto bomb or not, depending on whether you want to go for score or not. I mean, I think that actually does make it really approachable on a lot of levels. I can see why it gets so many recommendations as kind of an early game.
Yeah.
Jamers is saying in chat that he thinks Excel just makes every bullet twice as fast. That's pretty intense, actually.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And on top of all of that stuff, there's even some aesthetic changes you can do too. Like, you can choose between 3 different sounds for the sound it makes when you pick up a gem, and you can change the color of the gems between 1 of 3 different colors. So if you get tired of seeing the same color as sound, you can mix it up a little bit with that too.
Oh, neat.
So it throws a lot of options at you, and you really can just play one thing you want to get really good at.
Yeah, wow. It's funny, you were mentioning that you thought this game was kind of a cross between Ketsui and Mushi, and I can almost see that. Like, the patterns really feel reminiscent of of something you'd see in the Mushi games, more so than in Dodonpachi or Katsui. These kind of curves and almost three-dimensional looking patterns. It's cool. Jameis is saying you can get different color bullets as well.
Oh yeah, that's a big point I forgot about. I usually leave them on purple because it's just a nice color for me to deal with. I mean, the worst thing you could do, which actually makes things kind of funny, is if you turn the enemy bullets blue, because your bullets are also blue.
Oh dear, that sounds...
It's quite hilarious, I would say.
That sounds very confusing.
Oh, yeah, Banana actually, I want to thank you for that. There's another big thing that kept me coming back to this game. This game uses MP3 sound for its music in the sound folder.
Oh, so you can just swap it with whatever you want and it'll play it as long as it's MP3?
As long as it's MP3. Yeah, the ease of changing up the soundtrack is also very nice, and I've done it countless times.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it when doujin games have stuff like that. So all right.
Yeah, it just, all in all, the package just lets you custom tailor a lot of stuff to your liking.
All right then. Well, let's go ahead and get into your replay if you don't think we have anything else to mention.
I think it's about it. I covered everything I could think of before any replays. So, yeah, I'd say let's go forward with that.
So let's just get this queued up here. I'm ready when you guys are. Let me know.
Yep,
I'm ready.
All right. So let's go 3, 2, 1, click.
Sweet. Oh, one last final little thing. Technically, you have a choice between your original ship's color, or the first 3 ships can also be red if you choose, if you use the bomb button to pick your ship.
Oh.
If
that's interesting.
If you do that with Eden, then you'll get Eden from the original Eden's Edge game. So you have like a girl flying around, which I feel with everything else that you see in this game, that's actually really weird, but...
Yeah, that seems a little out of place.
If you really liked Eden's Edge or played it in the past, then, somebody out there would love that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so you see that I have to basically play really close to the enemies. It's really tough to see it, but I blow up some of the enemies at the right time for like the best bullet cancels possible.
Yeah, I mean it seems like it's super aggressive play. I mean, you're just really like right up at the top part of the screen, almost sitting directly on top of things as they're spawning.
Yeah. That basically, when you watch this, the one thing you don't realize is how many times I had to restart to get everything in this run right. For me, at least, the first stage is like restart hell more than anything I've ever played before. And
Really?
I think that in this replay, I've actually improved it since then. So I could actually get to like 1.42 million by this part. So
as opposed to 1.38 or whatever you had there? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm still improving on stuff every once in a while. And yeah, it's also really old because it still uses my RDP initials, but this came from April of 2011.
Okay. Have you gotten a better overall score than this? I'm assuming not.
Not yet. I haven't sat down to really play it. A big point of scoring is the extends at the end. I don't think I can get another extend, which would bump my score up quite a bit. Anything else after that would just be bumping it up a few 100,000 points. There isn't much room for improvement on this run, but...
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
To be like, I don't really have that much further to go. It must be a nice feeling. Actually.
At the time, I considered it a perfect run, but I've figured out a few things. I could probably get like an extra million is my best guess. That's pushing it though. Like, I can basically try to recite where I think I can improve. Like the last boss, I could have waited for a certain attack to get a little more points out of it on that first boss we just finished.
So, I mean, obviously when you cancel it, it drops ingots or whatever. So the idea then would be to wait for it to spew a bunch of stuff on the screen and then cancel it just the right moment there.
Yeah, the first boss has a particular attack where there's a lot of bullets tightly packed together. You just want to try to bunch them all three up next to you, then finish the boss off, and you get a lot of gems. Like,
Okay.
I should have an extend by this point, actually. So I guess I was about right. 400,000 points since the last stage. I would have an extend back there at the start of the tanks.
So is it extended at 5 million?
Every 5 million in this game.
Okay.
Yeah, this game Plus has an extend every 5 million.
And there's no limit to the number of extends, you said.
Correct. This run ends with me barely hitting 35 million at the end of the game, and then I just get the rest of those points from extend clear bonuses.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so almost half of my score just comes from stock clear bonuses.
That's really something else, actually.
Yeah. If you play with auto guard off in this game, each extra life at the end of the game is worth 2.5 million. But if you have auto guard on, they're only worth 2 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that is a pretty significant drop.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, that the scores are kind of, comparable. I mean, otherwise, the scoring system is very similar.
Yeah. If I had auto guard on this run, basically, the only difference would be that my score at the end would have been 55 million.
Do you bomb at all during this run?
I do. One was panic because I almost died. There are several times, actually. I do it once out of panic. I do it once because I wasn't sure if it was optimal at the time, and I'm pretty sure it isn't. And then you do bomb the crap out of the stage 5 mid-boss because it nets you some extra points when you do that. Only with Wish and Hope, though. Eden and Peace don't want to bomb because they can't kill it fast enough with their bombs.
I see. So the idea is that you kill it more quickly.
Yeah. You basically killed that. Well, I'll get to that when it comes up. I'll point out exactly. Talking about a little early, but you just.
So is there any advantage to be gained from using bombs other than clearing the screen and or speed killing things? Is there any scoring reason why you'd want to do it a la like a Rising game? Or is it strictly for survival and speed kill purposes?
Outside of the stage 5 mid-boss, as far as I know, there isn't any other point other than to stay alive.
Okay.
If you play stage 3 on Hell, you'll probably bomb near the end of the stage, because that part is insane. Like, that's just an implied bomb if you play on Hell. But other than that, like, everything else is just purely for, like, saving your ass.
Yeah, okay.
In case anyone hadn't gotten a clear view or point out of the Ingo fountains, that's what they look like flying off the screen right there.
Yeah. So you don't have to be close to those to to take advantage of them. You just have to be on top of them to trigger them, and then you can go anywhere on the screen you want.
Exactly. You just want to uncover them, and then you just want to get them uncovered as soon as possible, because they don't stop spewing gems out
until they're all the way off the screen.
Right.
Nice.
What was I about to mention? Oh yeah, the extend there isn't a hidden extend at the end of the stage in both versions. The difference between this and regular Bluish Resurrection is that there's more ingots in this version. Ingots. But they're all in the same locations. This one just has a little bit more. But you uncover all of them and make sure that they're spewing the ingot. Like I mentioned before, you can technically uncover them, but fail to have them open. You need to open them all, and then at the end of the stage there's a hidden extend.
Okay. Does it just appear, or does it drop as a specific item, or how does that show up?
You actually laser in the middle of the screen.
Ah, right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a callback to the original Bluish where it worked the same way. You would laser the middle of the screen to get the hidden extend at stage 3 in that as well.
Oh, Jamers is mentioning that there's music and stage palette changes between BWR and BWR Plus, so that's another change between the two.
Oh, right. Yeah, the only track that they share at all actually is the boss music. The normal boss music, the first 4 bosses. All the other music is different. Even like the stuff like the stage clear music and the stage select or ship select music.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Wow,
this
that's a
true.
yeah, it's a pretty big change.
Yeah.
Huh. Some of these patterns are kind of interesting. I mean, it almost feels like there's like a Cinderella influence on this one.
Yeah,
In some ways, kind of
I could
this
see
this
what you mean by
spinny.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like I said, I think there's a very strong cave vibe behind a lot of the patterns and the stage layouts in this game, which I think makes it pretty interesting to play.
Yeah. Oh, Trap. Oh, Trap's in the stream, Twitch stream talking. We can't update the title because Aquas is out right now, Trap, and none of us have
Hence why
permission
I'm
to change the
hosting.
title. Yeah. Our fearless leader Aquas is out, unfortunately, so.
We'll have it fixed next time.
Yeah. I'm just really glad to finally be commentating on this game. Because people really do underestimate it as a high-scoring game. They just think of the clear and just kind of forget about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was definitely in that camp, but I mean, watching this, there's really a lot going on here.
Yeah, this run probably, it took me a good 2 years overall to land it finally.
Wow.
Well, then, I mean, that's on and off time. If I had to guess about how long I was actually playing it seriously, it was probably about a year before I figured all this out and got everything perfectly.
So then there's not much competition for this game, you would say?
Nobody's really stood up to me in Bluish Resurrection Plus, so not really. No one's been trying lately.
Yeah, you seem to pick games that are pretty awesome, but people don't know about, like with Kai Kahn recently.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing. Like, I just discovered it. I had it since this past summer, but I just saw it one day and I was like, maybe I should play this again. And I just kept playing it and it just got more awesome. But yeah, that bomb right there, I'm not sure if that's optimal or not because of these ships that come later.
Okay.
I think
are those bonus enemies, like based on how quickly you kill the target, or do they just come regardless?
Right. They come because I speed killed the mid boss, but basically because of the way that you have bonus points for your bomb stock between the end of stages 4 and 5. Plus, I think I'm not 100% sure if you lose points doing that or not. It seems like you lose a tiny bit of points though, but I'm not sure. It's good stuff. I like to play the games though that I don't know, lately I've kind of discovered that I like to play games that people really aren't playing and try to shed light on them.
Yeah, no, I think that's I mean, I think that's a very worthy endeavor. There's a lot of really good stuff out there.
Yeah, like
I don't think it's enough love.
I pushed really hard on Kaikon because I really believe in that one too. But this game is also really good, just severely underestimated for scoring. But this is also a fairly old game, so there are a lot of people who probably are just like, "Oh, I'm over this now."
Yeah, I mean it's I don't know. It still feels kind of fresh to me whenever I play it. I don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
That I thought was dead. I hard skipped a beat right there.
So you were explicitly going for a no miss.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like the utmost highest score possible. No bombing, no nothing. Which is really sad because I've improved since this run, and there's a safe spot at the bottom of the screen for that attack that I bombed on. So
Oh, that's the worst.
yeah,
When
I
you
did.
learn how to do a complicated dodge, that oh, there's just a really easy safe spot right there.
Yeah, no, a lot of people really don't know about it until they saw my YouTube Bluish Resurrection Hell Clear. They were like, "Holy shit, there's a safe spot down there. You don't have to be in the middle of the screen trying any of this tough stuff. You can just sit down there and be fine." But yeah, you can see my extends are
Yeah, they're just
stretching the
kind of
screen quite beautifully at the top there.
yeah. Did they just keep going like
Um,
to the other edge or?
the furthest I've seen them go is basically the other end.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
1, 2, 3. Well, basically where they are at the end of the run is as far as I've ever seen them go.
Yeah.
If somebody could do like a no miss no bomb high scoring run of hell, I've always been curious how far they can go, but I haven't been able to sit down and do that yet. That
Does Hell have
is
kind of the same basic scoring system, or are
Yeah,
there
it's just
changes?
it's the same scoring system across all the modes. It's
Okay.
just that of course the difficulty does make things easier
Yeah.
or harder.
Yeah, definitely. But it's not like scores aren't significantly higher just because there's more bullets on the screen to cancel, right?
Actually, yes, that would be the case.
Oh, okay.
I would say the score goes up about 10 million for each mode you go up. Like my
Oh,
best
okay.
scores in hell are like 56 million, or no, with this ship is like 53 million and 60 million here. So I could probably get 67 or 68 million in hell if I tried really hard.
Hmm.
And if you're using Wish or Hope, you need to power bomb this boss 3 times so that you get these ships to come out later. They net you more points in the end, actually. So you want to go ahead and just use those bombs because there'd be a 70,000 point bonus for each bomb, but each of these things will release about 100,000 points worth of stuff.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
net
so
more
you're
points just bombing.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure that one out.
So, since you were kind of the only person playing this, how did you approach trying to figure out the scoring? I mean, did you have other resources to consult with, or was it mostly just trial and error?
This is all trial and error. There's nothing I'd ever seen except a few Nico vids way long ago that I can't find anymore. And they all played with weight on because it's a default. So,
Yeah.
but pretty much all of like 95% of this is me learning it by myself.
Oh.
This
Did
ship,
you have any kind of
here's
specific process?
another
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
improvement
go ahead.
right here is you can wait for that ship to start flying away, then you blow it up, so that you get the bullet cancels on those ships right there.
Oh,
That's really
okay.
hard though. Oh, it's not too hard. It's scary though because the attack's kind of tricky. But you were saying?
I was wondering if you had any kind of like process for that. Like, did you like break it down level by level, or like how would you go about trying to experiment to find something new? Like, did it just kind of happen organically, or were you intentionally trying to push things at any given point? I guess I've never really played a game that was so kind of underdeveloped that I had to do most of the learning, firsthand.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
This game was basically I didn't really like actively try to learn every last little thing. I just kept playing it, and over time, I just figured out one thing after another. It's
That's cool.
it was
It
just
just kind of happened
a very
organically.
slow, natural process. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing kind of happened with KaiCon, but in a much, much shorter span of time.
Yeah, I mean, you did that in like 2 weeks, right?
I played it for a week in the summer, and I came back and remembered stuff in 2 days, and then got a crazy score in a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at myself with that one too, because I'm not sure how much more room there is for improvement on that.
So with the pattern that just fired there, was that randomized, or was that because this one looks fixed or
Um,
fixed-ish?
Actually, pretty much everything in this game is fixed.
Oh.
Yeah, even this attack is fixed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's based on it's fixed on your position.
Oh.
There are these balls that will shoot arrow or bullet-looking bullets, I should say. The bullets that look like bullets. They come from balls that shoot depending on your position.
I love that in this genre we have to specify the bullets that look like bullets because we're so used to bullets looking like other things.
Yeah. So this marks the end of my replay, but you can see at the top, I barely just get 35 million at the end.
Yeah, wow.
And
yeah,
then
they do go like all the way across the screen.
and you cash out. Booyah!
That's pretty awesome.
Bam! And there's that.
Well, congratulations. That's an awesome run.
It was. Thank you.
All right, so now let's move on to the Hell replay.
Yeah. The reason I actually looked around, found this replay, I don't remember if I pointed it out or if Aquas pointed it out to me. But this guy, I've never personally talked to him, but I kind of wish I did because he played through Hell with auto guard off.
Oh.
So that's like massive balls right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that is one thing I did forget to mention. There is a true last boss on Hell, but not on Original or Heaven. But the requirements are different between each game. In the original Bluish Resurrection, all you have to do is just 1 credit clear the whole game. But in Plus, you have to 1 credit clear, or you have to 1 life clear the whole thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, I barely did that once before. And that's technically a run on YouTube, but Hell Bluish Resurrection Plus is kind of a mess, because if you're playing for score, you want a suicide at the very beginning of the game. You just don't want to fight the true last boss, because it'll take more lives than it's worth. Because it's harder than the one in Bluish Resurrection.
Oh. Huh.
So it's kind of weird. Hell on Plus is not my favorite thing. But I still kind of want to go back and try that whole die immediately on stage 1, then try to perfect the rest of the game.
That's interesting.
I just wonder how high the score could go.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second replay is done by a guy named Prales. Really don't know how to pronounce his name. It's the biggest mystery of this video so far. But he plays through Hell using Peace, which is a very solid choice. I don't blame him at all for picking Peace, because it is the strongest shot in the game, and a good homing laser. And he's playing with auto guard off, meaning that if he has to save his own ass, he's got to manually bomb. He can't let the game do it for him.
Wow. All right. So let's cue this up. Are you guys ready?
Way ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Then 3, 2, 1, click.
Oh, we have Jamers in the chat here mentioning the Bluish Resurrection Plus True Last Boss is hilarious, impossible, broken mess. Which is kind of true, except remember how many lives you can get with the unlimited lives thing in Plus. So if you get to the True Last Boss, it's basically an auto win, because you have like 10 lives, or at least 9 lives. Well, no, you've got at least like 10 lives, 11 lives, so you can't really lose to it if you get to it.
Still, to have Jamers say it's an impossibly broken mess, how bad must it be?
The first and second forms are doable, but the third and final forms are luck.
Do we get to see it?
Not the Plus version, unfortunately.
Oh.
Unless y'all wanted to go find my Hell Clear video afterwards and look at it. It's on YouTube as well.
We could maybe just do the TLB part of that.
Yeah,
because that'd be fun to watch.
Just go ahead and remind me after this, and we can go find that too. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, sweet.
And that, I actually got that at the end of 2008, which was the same year that Bluish Resurrection Plus came out. But anyways, like more back to this replay. As you can see, there's some aesthetic changes, like different colors on the sides and the font and the background as well.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else appears fairly similar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the patterns are obviously more difficult than what we saw in the other version, but that's because this is Hell and the other one was original.
Yeah, but the patterns would be identical between both of the games. I'm just really glad that XX, the developer for this game, learned from Blue Wish. Because if you ever saw the true last boss in that game, you would wonder how he went from that to this.
Is it? I haven't seen it, so.
I don't know if there's a good vid of that anywhere on YouTube, but it's basically entirely luck. It is a technically fixed final attack, but it's so fast that you basically just have to know it, and you basically have to just try and then pray that you're lucky enough to do it perfectly. It's bad. I've been lucky enough to actually beat it once, but there's no consistent way to do it. It's unexplainably bad. I hope that nobody ever pursues that. But, you know, that game happened, and then this and Bluish Resurrection Plus happened, and it's a lot better. Like, he learned really quick from his mistakes in Bluish.
Has he done anything since these games?
He's done Eden's Edge. Eden's Ages more recently after this. He's working on another game right now, but I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a follow-up to Eden's Ages. I'm trying to think of one more thing he's done. I can't remember it right now, though.
I don't know if it's partially just the purple bullets everywhere, but I really just get a very strong Mushi 1 vibe from a lot of these patterns.
Yeah, he looks like he's using pink instead of purple bullets.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure. Pretty sure it's pink. But yeah, I could see where you're going with that.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of nice because I adore Mushi 1. It's one of my absolute favorite shooting games, so it's nice to see. It's nice to see.
I need to get back on that at some point because I played it for the first and only time in December for one of Chop's meets, and I beat it on my first try, original. So
yeah, original's not. I mean, it's tough, but it's not that bad. But Maniac and Ultra are great fun. The scoring system is really interesting. It's crazy. It's completely crazy, but I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And then Ultra, of course, has that stupid TLD, but...
Yeah, that doesn't look fun.
Yeah. I'll worry about that if and when I ever manage to reach it, but...
Yeah. I'm personally afraid of that thing, just because I just don't see a consistent... I don't think there's supposed to be a consistent way to beat it. That's just...
The only consistent way I've seen to beat it is people glitching it halfway off the edge of the screen so that only half of the pattern comes out at once.
Yeah.
But...
All right. We mentioned all of XX's games so far, but we hadn't mentioned Green Wind, which was his very first one.
I don't think I've even heard of that.
Yeah, it's got a weird resolution like Blue Wish, unfortunately. But unlike Blue Wish, it's actually, like, fairly beatable and without relying on shit luck, basically. It's really amazing. I think about it and I actually had the patience to play through Blue Wish.
It's honestly, that
bad? Like, I regret it, and I tried to stream it for a little while, and basically the highlight of my stream was basically just doing circles around the Stage 4 boss, because there is no other way to deal with it. You have to use one ship that has no bombs, and you have to circle around it. Otherwise, there's no way to no-miss, no-bomb it. because the other ships are too slow.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's like Futari Ultra Strats was what someone was saying when I was streaming it.
Yeah. Oh dear. Ray, you missed the first more than half of the episode. More like probably 2/3, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I guess half of it, because I think we're doing a quick glance at the plus True Last Boss after this, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think I found that video. There's one here, Bluish Resurrection plus TLD All Hell Clear Part 6. Is that right?
Yep, that should be it. That was back when
Right.
I couldn't do long videos.
I will stick that link in the chat.
Yeah. Sweet. I remember the only reason I was even able to do it was because I didn't have like a great concept on maximizing my score at that point. But I basically did everything I can just to survive. I didn't even have any consideration for scoring. And I did get really lucky on the stage 5 boss. If you watched the whole run, there were some really crazy questionable dodges, and I will say that it was luck. Like, I really did get some lucky breaks. Because it is pretty hard to one life clear all of hell, actually.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
If I was going for score, there's no way I'd be able to do it for a long time. I don't know what it is, but I do kind of like the soundtrack for the original Bluish more than Plus. That's just me, though.
I actually don't think I've listened to the original one soundtrack.
Yeah, I actually had to go back and re-download Plus so that I can have the proper soundtrack for the video we were watching before. It's because otherwise you'd be hearing Exceed Third Black Label music blasting, and it'd probably confuse everyone.
Yeah.
Which has an amazing soundtrack too, by the way, but it's just, I want to present the game in the form it was basically meant to be presented in, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think I put the Side Iojo soundtrack when I was playing.
Oh yeah.
Plus, because I was playing it before the port came out.
Yeah, I did too. I did that too.
So yeah, that would be a little bit confusing.
Yeah. I would not have the balls to do this though. He's not using Autobomb. The whole time it's just like, you don't have something holding your hand in case you slip.
Yeah. Well, and some of those dodges, I mean, like, some of these dodges are really kind of crazy.
They are, like, there were, like, this spot kind of surprised me too. Like, I can see how he does it, but he really did have to take this game to, like, a whole new level. I could tell.
Yeah.
This is kind of scary, though. The way he does this one's a little weird. He doesn't really, like, go from one end of the screen to the other.
He just does these little tight cutbacks in the center.
Yeah, it's a little bit too risky, but
it's fast and it keeps the streams from getting a little overpowering. I can see why he did it, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely kind of a risky strategy.
yeah. It also kind of sucks with the ship sometimes, because if you have to do tight dodges like that, you have to use your weaker focused laser. Like, it's really weak. It's weaker than anything else in the game, that thing. But it holds. It's great for stage portions, but against bosses, it's the weakest thing in the game. Whereas his unfocused shot is the strongest thing in the game, but it's harder to dodge. So even though this is technically, like, the best ship in the game, both for scoring... Like, basically, when I say for scoring, its homing laser is actually so weak, it can produce more points out of enemies than other shots in the game. So if you were to laser the whole entire game, you could actually earn a few million extra points for no reason.
Do you do chip damage in addition to the... Is that why?
Like, the bullets just are so weak, they just generate slightly more points compared to everything else. And if you ever see my Heaven replays, I have like 56 million with this ship, and then 54 or 53 million with the other ships.
Oh, and it's just from that.
Yep.
That's interesting.
It's just because its homing shot is technically, like, if you're going for like crazy, like super high level stuff, this is the ship to use. And it's also the strongest, so it is a
But it's
pretty
the most
interesting
frustrating
ship.
to control.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like, you've got to be able to, if you're playing for like survival, or if you want stuff to die faster, you can't. You have to get used to twitch dodging.
Oh
Ooh,
man.
that was a good bomb though.
Yeah.
I can imagine at this point he was nervous, because he still got to get through the true last boss with that bomb or auto guard. Man.
So did I read it correctly that he dies 5 times during this run?
Yes,
Is
he
that
does,
all
actually.
against the TLB?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so if for those who caught a glance at it at the very beginning of the replay file, it shows 5 misses. He's got 5 lives in stock right now, so he loses them all against the true last boss.
And oh, that's right. And this one has the fixed cap on stock.
Yep. So it's very pressuring. But then again, if you were playing Plus, you could die once and you don't have to worry about a true last boss. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. I personally feel like he kind of flubbed on Plus's true last boss requirements. Because you win if you don't fight it, and then you auto win if you do fight it. It's just kind of a pointless fight.
I guess.
It's a pointless fight you get less points out of, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess if you're going to require a no miss to get to the TLB, it
give
should,
us an incentive
it should
to...
really need to, like, you should need to do it if you want to score.
This is what, I didn't remember Prales doing it, but this is what the attack looks like in an easy form. You don't have to be in the middle, you just sit on the bottom and do that.
That's great. Just slide back and forth on the bottom of the screen and everything goes above you.
Yeah. It helps a lot on Hell, though. And this attack fucking sucks. That's a bomb, without a doubt.
Yeah, that attack looks brutal.
But on my Hell Clear, or TLB Hell Clear and Plus, I got lucky and managed to get to that without a bomb. I think in my video I had an annotation that basically in all caps 36 font. Complete shit luck, I'm sorry.
You know, that always... I think every run we have something like that where it's like, you do the best you can and then magically you make it through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Jamer said in the chat, and how I said, he still got the true last boss to deal with. It's really not a terrible true last boss in this game. The third form is tricky, and the final form is also tricky, but they're completely no miss, no bombable. It's just, he's got the extra pressure of he can't slip at all with bombs and stock.
Yeah.
I doubt anybody will have the courage to do this with auto guard off. Like, other than Prales. I sure don't have the balls to do it. I just get so pissed if I had like 6 bombs in stock and then a stray bullet hit me on Hell, and there goes my TLB. But yeah, or on Plus at least. That was before I realized it's actually optimal to just skip it.
Yeah.
But in this game, you don't have a choice on Hell, so you have to be on your A game.
So, kind of off topic, I guess, but what's your opinion of, auto bomb in other games? Because obviously you seem to be, not necessarily opposed to it here for that mode.
Yeah, it's fair here because there's a score incentive. It's a whole risk versus reward thing.
Yeah.
If you play it safe, you don't get as big of a reward. But you mean stuff in like DFK or Saidai?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think Sadai is pretty well balanced because it kills your whole stock.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm fine with that. But
but
DFK,
DFK's
I really don't like it at DFK. I
okay.
wouldn't like to be honest with you. I wouldn't have been able to ever clear it if it weren't for Autobomb. Like that's the only reason I've been able to clear it with a strong ship. That's why power ships are still insanely hard in that game, because Hibachi is basically the only reason I never cleared with the power ship, and I don't think I'll be going back to that because I've got a lot of shmups to catch up on now. That's a good bomb spot too.
What are you playing now?
I actually started playing Saidai yesterday, and I'm still keeping up with Kaikon a little bit.
Sadai just which mode? Shot laser or X part?
I tried X part, X part. I tried X part for an hour, and I didn't like it. Like I see, like even the first mid boss is like hard.
Yeah.
But I've been playing B laser.
Okay. Yeah, B laser seems to be pretty popular. A shot and B laser seem to be kind of the most versatile in that game. So.
Actually, though, I did have the most fun with C shot, so it's a tough one. I feel like I'd be betraying my B type status, though. In a random thing about that stream of attacks right there, in regular Bluish Resurrection, those bullets, for some reason or another, are always aimed to the right of your ship. So in Plus version, you want to start on the right side of the screen and then work your way towards the left. Because if you do it the other way around, it's absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be landing where you're trying to go.
That's weird. So they don't actually aim at you, they aim...
to your right. That's
odd. That's
it's
like
messed.
really
I think
odd.
it's a flub. I don't think that was intended.
Yeah, probably not. That's
It's
too
kind of
like
laughable
obscure
on
to be intentional.
Yeah. It's really laughable on original when you see it in action, though. This is a fun attack, because you can just twitch dodge and you'll be fine. And barely have to gear.
Yeah, those kind of attacks are always fun. It's really imposing looking, but then it's just a simple little tap to one side. And
yeah. I would have died here out of pure panic. That's tough. At about that point, I wouldn't know what else to do in that attack.
Yeah, that's a weird... It looks like cutting back through that would be really tricky.
This is a hard attack, too.
And you said this is fixed?
Yes, there is a safe spot on this attack somewhere. A Japanese player told me that there's a safe spot, but I can't find it.
It just looks... It almost looks random.
Yeah, so it's all entirely fixed, though. When you look at it, when you play the game long enough, you realize it's all fixed. Except the true last boss's third attack, more or less.
Oh, there we go. There's his first death.
Yeah. Because of the boss's increased health in the first version of this game, this is a scary boss. Like, it's scary in Plus, but in this game, like, you're expected to bomb and die against this thing.
How much more health? Like, if you had to give a guess.
33% probably, across the board for all the bosses after the first one.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually a pretty significant jump.
Maybe like 30% actually, but you can definitely feel it when you compare the two games.
It almost seems like, from the kind of changes we've been talking about, as if Plus is like the Futari Black Label to this is, normal Futari. I mean, you have like quicker dying bosses, different palette shift. Overall, it's slightly easier. So
yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That this is a normal version and Plus is sort of like a Black Label.
Yeah. Wow, that is an annoying set of spreads. Just keeps going.
Yeah, it does. It's actually one of his easier attacks, though. This one is also kind of tricky on the eyes till you understand it. That's still my biggest rush probably in 2013. Being able to see all of this using Wish. Just knowing that you're using like the weak underdog ship. It was insane.
Yeah.
But this is... Oh my god. I wouldn't be able to handle the stress with this attack without a bomb.
Wow. Those like belts of bullets just really.
This is fixed too, and you can memorize it in the perfect order. But obviously, if you screw up, you're gonna have to, see in it the extra attacks from it, basically.
Yeah.
But that was my only choice with Wish. Basically, get it down, memorize it, don't fuck up.
Oh, what? It has something from below.
Yeah, this is a hard attack. This is.
I feel
really
like
hard attack.
every attack that comes from below is always a heart attack. Like just invariably.
We aren't trained to see stuff from the top and the bottom at the same time, usually. Prales uses an interesting strategy, though. He goes off to the sides and does his best to, you'll see him, like, actually fairly close to the bottom there. I've never seen anyone do that. At times. God. And if you bomb, you want to sit, like, on the lower angel as long as you can, because your shield will block any more bullets from coming out.
Yeah. So it looks like the TLB doesn't have invulnerability during the bomb. Is that correct?
Oh, it is invincible when you bomb, but say you die and you come back, you get a good second and a half or so on it for free before it starts shooting again.
Okay.
You can see it glows completely yellow, and then it'll be normal. You have a good 2 seconds to hit it before it'll be shooting again. As long as you have, as long as you come into this fight with at least 1 life left, you should be fine.
You mean this form, or?
I mean, well, if you're playing with auto guard at least, you don't fuck up. But this form, you definitely don't want to come to this form without an extra life. And Prales gets it. Good for him.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy. He has bigger balls than anyone else I'll ever know.
And we have SDOJ waifu conversation going on in the Twitch chat.
What? Hikari, right. Saida Joe waifu.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, let's see. Last order of business was the...
That TLB.
Yeah.
I think I is that the correct link that I gave in the chat?
Let me see.
Wish restriction plus TLB all. Hell, clear part 6.
Yeah, sounds like my video.
That's the link that I gave.
Let me open this up. It's not in high quality, though.
At least we could see it.
Yeah. Wow, this was back before I even played Ketsui, and I have Ketsui music playing. All right. So, let's see. The true last boss starts at 140, basically.
Okay, hang on 1 sec.
Yes.
All right. So, are we all synced up at 140?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, click.
Annotations.
Oh, right, my annotations. I don't even remember what they all say. I need to look at them again. So as you
wow, that is way more dense. Holy crap.
Yeah. I'm actually really thankful I didn't get hit right there. At the time, I didn't know how to deal with the attack after that. This attack is actually a little bit easier in this version. It's tighter, but as a whole, it's easier to handle, as long as you don't mess up.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
You don't have those belts of bullets coming down in this version.
You just have things coming from only a few directions rather than all of them. This is bullshit.
It's just way tighter than the other one.
Yeah.
God, that's awful.
It's bullshit, yeah.
It seems like it's dying much quicker, though. I think that's a combination of the ship and the decreased boss health, right?
Well, it's actually weaker than Peace.
Oh, okay.
But it's more or less the health thing. This is also bullshit. It starts off similar, but once it gets going, you're just kind of like, now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm even confused on what's going on.
Yeah.
Might have something to do with you're on the 20 frames per second as well.
Yeah, that's probably part of it. But it is really bad. This is probably the only reason, like, if you didn't have, like, 10 lives coming into this fight, this would be insane. But I still died 3 times before I killed the thing.
That's just brutal. I mean, it's just so fast.
It's actually, I think you could turn weight off, and it's actually kind of a joke. Because weight is off. If they were on normally, I'm sure that there'd be enough slowdown to deal with it.
Oh, Jamers is like, we should show off the Blue Wish TLB too.
Oh, Jesus. Hold that thought. Let me see if I can find a video. I know there is one thing. I wonder if Geist is in the stream or not. But hold on. I'll post the link in the. This is something I do want people to see. I just posted it in our little chat here. So when you get that video, put it up. Let me know. I hope that anyone's actually going to be able to make out what's happening though.
Should we watch the whole thing from 000 or
start? No, let's skip to 205.
205.
Okay.
All
right.
Give me a second to screen region this.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Anybody? Well, they can't see the comment. I have a long comment under the video though that explains everything. That it took me a couple of years of on and off play to figure this son of a bitch out. Like, ugh.
All right, are we all synced up?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Soda?
Give me a second. Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, quick.
Words are not needed. Only complete despair and suffering about what's coming. Yeah, it's just going to be like a slow suffering process till we actually get to the final attack.
Oh, okay.
This isn't even the bad part yet. Everything you see is
I was going to say, like, this looks annoying, but not, like, horrible. Although, yeah.
Well, it is quite horrible. Like, honestly, everything is pretty horrible. But that final attack is just a whole different ballpark of terribleness. There's only one way to deal with that attack, actually. If you play with Peace, then you can fairly reliably get to its final without dying, or you don't have bombs with Peace in this game. But it is fucking powerful. Like,
that's fun.
You can kill this form, like, before the second stream of, like, red bullets.
Wow.
But the other ships, well, it has a homing attack. Its homing laser does the same damage as its shot, which is really strong. So you don't have to be in front of this boss the whole time. And it's constantly moving around, making this a bitch of a fight for Hope. And no one's ever going to beat this with Wish, because it's too weak. But this is when it starts to get bad. With Peace, at least you can sit in a corner. There's a couple of spots that are relatively safe, but you just have to basically hope a little bit, pray, and just try to react as best as you can.
The way that those are kind of reflecting off of the bottom is so, like, weird and unpredictable.
Yep. It's really hard to keep up with everything.
The blue ones turn into the purple when they start going back up, right?
No. Oh, wait. Holy crap, yeah. I always kept thinking it was the green ones coming back a little bit later. Wow, I feel like an idiot. I feel like a fucking idiot. Okay, here we go.
Sorry. What?
Enjoy, motherfuckers. This is a fixed attack, by the way. And I don't think you can see them, but it's also shooting red balls at you.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
You can actually, the green bullets are perfectly aimed based on your position. If there's a little twitch pattern you can follow that you can actually dodge the green bullets. When you get used to it, the red balls are actually the dangerous part of the attack. Because you can't move too fast or too slow, but those red balls are always going to be where you want to go.
That's annoying.
Like, you just kind of have this revelation, the green bullets are bad, really bad. But you figure it out, and then the red balls are in the way. So you're just kind of at the never-ending loss of just actually winning. I double KO'd on this boss 4 times before I eventually cleared it.
That's awful, jeez.
3 times with Hope, once with Peace. I wasn't ready to give up till I eventually got it, though. And I don't think I can ever look at this game ever again. I tried to stream it earlier, but like
it's like too many bad memories. I can't go back.
Yeah. Like, it would be hours and hours and hours of streaming before it happened again. Like, all of the bosses in this game are terrible, except the first one. You plan to die at least once on the bosses before this one. Like, my plan basically was to get to the true last boss with 2 lives left. Because I was going to die on the bosses all before that. That's how awful it is.
I like Bananamatic's comment here. This is like a bad Denmaku script.
Oh, that's good. Oh, man. Apparently, Green Wish and Blue Wind, they run on something called the Tonfu system, but I have no idea what that is. You just see it booted up whenever it's in a window like that. So you boot it up, you just see something about some Tonfu system, and that's it. But, damn. I'm glad he stopped using that. He stopped making Blue Wish games. Games like Blue Wish, I mean. Yeah. So, let's see. I think we got through everything, right?
Yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, there is the one other mode, but I don't think we have time to cover that, obviously, so.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Anything else you want to mention? Any outstanding questions from chat?
Looking through the chat right now.
I'm not seeing any questions.
Give us a second because of delay as well.
Yeah, I'll give him a minute because of the Twitch delay.
Yeah.
But anything you want to talk about that we didn't really get a chance to cover, or?
Well, let's see. We covered a lot of it in the introduction. Covered stuff through the videos as well. Even did some sidetracking and showed a couple random things after the 2 replays. Can't really think of much
I think we
else.
covered most of the bases here.
Yeah.
So.
I can't really think of much else to contribute at this point.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you so much for coming on. I think this was a pretty good episode. Oh, Ray, the difficulties are Heaven, Original, and Hell, right?
There's on Bluish Resurrection and Plus, there's Heaven, Original, and Hell. But that's a good point. I'll get on that in a minute, Drake. But
Okay.
in the original Bluish, there's Heaven, Original, and Desperate. But in Plus, or Bluish Resurrection and Plus, there's Heaven, Original, and Hell. Hell is basically the same thing as Desperate, difficulty-wise, basically. But yeah, that Bluish replay thing was more of like a side distraction Jamers gave us an ideas for.
Yeah.
But Drake wanted me to mention a KaiCon bounty. If anybody is on Shoot 'em Up's forum, recently I posted a high score topic and a strategy topic for a doujin Shoot 'em Up that came out in 2013 called KaiCon. It's really good. I highly suggest that you download it and try it if you haven't already. There should be links.
It is awesome.
There should be links to the author's website, and I think I need to update the high score topic with the link.
Could
but
you
at
put
least
a link
in
in
the
chat?
strategy. Oh right. Yeah. Give me a minute to find it again.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Whoa!
Hey, what the hell are you doing here?
I just I just got back.
Aquas, our base leader.
Looks like you did a good job here. Good job, guys.
Yeah,
Good job.
I feel good about this episode.
Yeah, actually,
ya?
I think it went
Yeah, I do.
pretty well. It was a little awkward because I'm not used to pretending to be you, but that
Hey,
it all
you can
worked
just-
out, I think.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, no, you can just be you. That's good. That's good. But so like I'm on a really crappy netbook, so I can't watch like a full video. But yeah, I was kind of busy as well today. But decided to drop in because I can get on Skype. So that's like the about one thing I can do. So.
Yeah, we actually just finished up. We finished up the Bluish stuff earlier, and it went really well. I think it was probably my best time on here so far.
Oh, great! Awesome. I changed the stream title for the last moment, so I got that for you guys.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, that was basically the only outstanding question. Is Twitch title is wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the URL on the Twitter message has an @ in it, so it doesn't link directly to the stream.
Yeah. Let me see.
All right. Sounds like you're wrapping it up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Oh, j-
just finishing up actually. So.
Yeah, Drake
cool.
wanted me to talk a little bit about my KaiCon bounty that I currently have active. But let me see here. I just posted a link in the chat for the developers page where you can go get the game. And I just posted a link to a strategy thread which covers basics, the ships, how stuff works, and a little more in depth detail about my bounty. Basically, I have a certain score on this game. I've issued a challenge to try to get the word around and get people to play it. Just because I believe in this game and it's really good and it deserves more
It is
attention.
really good. I just started playing it the other day. I can't even see what's going on because on my Linux laptop here, it won't properly work. It displays the transparencies as like solid blue boxes around everything, and I still think it's awesome. So just putting that out there.
In the third post of the topic to shmups I just posted, there's a special bounty announcement in bold. Basically, just beat my score, and I will give the first person to do that $50 through PayPal, most likely.
Yo.
But if you
Money.
if you use a particular ship, which is Type C, I will double up and give you 100 instead. So it's a good game. I know there's room for improvement against my score. It is a high score though. Like I know that there's like 700 million plus that's possible, and I have 628 million.
Are you trying to tempt Jamers here? Because
I have the feeling that he might be the first to do it, but there is someone else in the high score topic who's actively going after it right now.
I would be going after it if it were running. I'm really depressed that I'm not at my desktop right now where I could actually play it without the graphics being complete shit.
Oh
but,
yeah, wine.
Yeah. I can try running it in the VM, but I mean
Oh yeah.
we'll see what happens.
in that
Anyway,
bounty
that's
thread on
completely off
shmups,
topic.
have other people been offering money for the bounties?
Not really. I just
Okay, that's
this
a
is
few
an
thing.
idea I just got of my own randomly. I was
Pretty
I
nuts.
talking
think
to
I've
a few.
seen like one or two more in the past, but not for a long time. Or maybe it was, I don't know if it was on Shmups. I think there was on maybe it was on like NeoGAF or something. I saw someone offering like an art book
Oh
to
yeah.
their Akai Katana score or something, which was disappointing to me because they were only doing existing members of the forum, and of course I wasn't a member at the time, but I already had a score that beat theirs. So
Well, money is a good motivator, so maybe that'll
Yeah,
get people to
money.
enjoy the game.
I mean, it's a really good game. I feel like you'll enjoy it anyways. It's just
Yeah, sure.
I kind of want to reward somebody because it's not a simple give me score. You can't
Yeah,
practice
yeah.
the stages in the game. Is the main thing about this. Like
Mm.
it is tough. I would imagine it's tough for a lot of people out there to beat it. So I'm just sort of announcing it, and the bounty is active until October 1st. So I'm giving people plenty of time.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a little bit off topic from the main like episode of Lewis Resurrection, but it's like a last little thing that I wanted to announce. Drake reminded me.
well, I mean it's another doujin game. It's not very well known, but it should get more hype because it's really good. Yeah, I mean I think it qualifies for on topic ish. So
Yeah, I don't do that ever. Like that's the first time I've ever like tried to advertise anything like that. I guess
Right.
that should be an indication of something if it didn't already.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. Is there anything else that we should talk about? Or I think that's pretty much wraps everything up.
Yeah, I feel like that's a wrap. I think we covered all the bases.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you very much for coming on here, and Aquas, thank you for letting me, host this thing. This is actually a lot of fun.
Oh no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, that's awesome. Great.
Yeah, I think it came out pretty well. So you'll have to check it out when it's on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll be uploading it myself here from here. So
Oh, okay. Awesome. In that case, thank you everyone for watching, and later.
Yep, take care, y'all.
later.
And